morning, all. Ira Epstein of Linn Associates with your morning flash update for this Tuesday, and we are now on the 11th of July, 2019, and the time 9:15 a.m. Central Daylight Time. I didn't record yesterday morning for you one of these because I was all engrossed in watching, of course, the House drill Fed Chair Powell. Today, the Senate begins literally as I'm talking to you right now. But I saw what I had to yesterday, and of course the questions today will be of a different breed, and they'll try to dig into things you didn't answer. But yesterday took some of the air out of Bitcoin as we were getting questions about what this means for the U.S. dollar. Why is this market coming alive the way it is? What risks does it pose? So on and so forth. You walked away yesterday with the impression that the Fed, need it or not, is going to give it an insurance cut of some type at the end of July on interest rates. In fact, the disappointment now would be that they don't do it, even though when you look today at the core CPI, it went up and over what the market expected. Interesting day there. At the same time, the Fed seems to want to change the curve yield. It wants that front end to do something, or the back end. In other words, they don't want this to keep moving where the 2 and the 10 keep seeing the big differential that hurts this market. So Fed's acting on that. You're seeing, by the way, the gold react to that, the silver. The copper even had a heck of a bounce yesterday because the idea here is maybe take the steam out of the U.S. dollar. Bonds and notes, interest rates dropping a bit, and you'd expect that to be out of that part of it. On the energy market, a big rally took place yesterday, in part because of the storm that is now in the Gulf of Mexico and the shutting down of just so many of our oil facilities, the track of that becoming better known. I believe it's now been formally named Barry. We'll see what that does. Remember today, you have at 11 o'clock a big grain report, the WASDE, and we'll have an idea as to what the market's thinking of crop sizes and so on. There's a problem, though, with the report, any way you cut it, and probably centers around corn more than anything, because last report we had, the government was saying that we actually planted more corn than we did a year ago, and you know the flooding, it hasn't receded, and you missed the opportunity. You can't go in and plant now, it's too late. So the question is, on a new survey, what happens there? But just be ready, because that'll be the action of the day. You had, as I said, the CPI come out, and right where I went to it, I looked right here. Ex-food and energy, month over month, up 0.3%. They expected up 0.2, and the prior was up 0.1. So this is picked up, and it's home furnishings. I looked at what it was made out of, and it's everything that we're using every day. When you go to year over year, it was up 2.1%. It expected 2. It's not a big change there, but it's there. Energy prices down a little bit. We know that this is delayed, and that's what occurred. The initial jobless claims, it's all over the board, but it doesn't do any harm or hurt. It's coming in about where thought. And energy analysts expect today the natural gas storage to come in at up 73 billion cubic feet in the reporting period compared to 55 billion in the year earlier and 71 billion on an average. Now, we also saw today that the British warship one of the British warships intervened between a British tanker and 3 Iranian vessels. They pointed their guns at them, they intervened, they protected it. All British ships now that are traveling through the strait are on a state of high alert, because this is the beginning of the problems that the Brits have via the fact that they took a tanker that they think was headed, I think it was for Syria, in the Strait of Gibraltar, and they found it full of crude oil and so on. So again, mischief, yeah, that's probably the biggest problem that Iran has going for. Now the question is, the questioning today, is there something that's going to trip up Mr. Powell or not? As for what we're doing, we're going to be focused not only on what Mr. Powell's saying right now, but come that grain report this morning. So if you're a grain trader, a livestock trader, you probably want to see what's happening to these feed costs. They're going to be very important. We're at that midpoint now of the growing season where everything's been planted. Now it's week to week. We start watching the weather and what we've got. And of course, this year had that wild card with the acreage. Just how many acres did we actually get planted? We cannot say with certainty what happens at the end of the growing season because nobody knows. But if you have less acres, that's a problem. So where are we? You'll find out. How we do that is we're writing throughout the day and we drop it into your email box or into our platform for you. We have several platforms. We have the mobile trading platform, the mobile one that gives you the quotes, our news, and so on. Then, and that's in your smartphones. Then you have either for your tablets or your PCs, either a Java-based or you can get our information that is HTML-based. It's all your choice. How do you find out about it? Either call my staff. You can go to our website, www.iraepstein.com. Take a look at our carousel of free offers there, and you can click up here as well. I'm Ira Epstein. I'm going to go back and watch how the drilling goes and what Mr. Powell says or doesn't say and how he answers the questions, and I'll be writing about it this morning. Take care. Have a good day.